Today, in our nation's capital, former Oregon Congresswoman Lori Chavez-DeRemer faced tough questions from a Senate confirmation committee as President Trump's nominee for Labor Secretary. If confirmed, Chavez-DeRemer would oversee the Labor Department's 16,000 employees and nearly $14 billion proposed budget, along with the rights of America's workers, unions, and businesses. Senators on both sides of the aisle questioned Chavez-DeRemer on her past support for the PRO Act, which would make it easier for workers to unionize at the national level. The act is not yet law, but has passed the U.S. House. Republicans criticized her backing of the bill, and here's how she defended her support for it today.
I know there has been a lot of conversation about my support of the PRO Act. Like President Trump, I believe our labor laws need to be updated and modernized to reflect today's workforce and the business environment. As a member of Congress, the PRO Act was the bill to have those conversations. Conversations that matter deeply to the people of Oregon's 5th Congressional District. I recognize that that bill was imperfect, and I also recognize that I am no longer representing Oregon as a lawmaker. If confirmed, my job will be to implement President Trump's policy vision, and my guiding principle will be President Trump's guiding principle, ensuring a level playing field for businesses, unions, and most importantly, the American worker.
Chavez-DeRemer was also pressed by Senator Bernie Sanders on the federal minimum wage, which currently sits at $7.25 an hour. She basically deferred, saying it's up to Congress to decide. Senator Sanders pressed her further.
I understand that Congress makes the law, but you have an opinion, and you will be the leading advocate for workers if you are confirmed. Question, if you were sitting where I'm sitting, would you vote to raise the minimum wage to a living wage?
Well, I'm not sitting where you're sitting hypothetically. I used to, but not any longer. But I do recognize that the minimum wage hasn't been raised since 2009, and the cost of living has gone up. But again, I cannot sit here and determine what that wage will be fully and fairly. I will enforce the law, but it will be up to Congress to determine because that is not in the purview of the Secretary of Labor. For instance, in Oregon, I know that in Portland, Oregon, that the minimum wage is almost $16 an hour, and that might work for Portland, but that's not going to work for Grants Pass, Oregon. And I know that local communities, states determine what's best for their economy.
Oregon has different minimum wages for urban and rural areas of the state. Portland's minimum wage is $15.95 an hour, while in Grants Pass, it's $14.70. Another big issue that Chavez-DeRemer was asked about today is paid leave. That question coming from a Democratic senator from New Jersey, Andy Kim.
Do you believe that all American workers are entitled to paid leave?
Again, we don't have a federal paid leave.
Should we?
Well, that again, I know as a Department
I'm just trying to get a sense of your vision. I get it. You're not a lawmaker anymore, but I'm just trying to get a sense of what you're going to be fighting for. What's your vision for the American worker?
Well, my vision for the American worker is to achieve the American dream.
I understand that, but is part of the American dream paid leave for all workers?
Well, again, I cannot commit to you today that I would say 100% paid leave across the board is something that should be taken up by the federal government. Independent of states, state of Oregon, again, they choose to do that respective of their states. I want people to have the opportunities to keep more of their hard-earned dollars. I know the president, again, is in line with the America First agenda to have those freedoms, to keep those hard-earned dollars that they earn, and we want to make the most prosperous opportunities available for them to earn the most based on what they are skilled to do and offer them the development and the skills that they can to earn that opportunity.
Chavez-DeRemer also faced questions about this article from NBC News earlier this month, finding that she once worked at Planned Parenthood in her early 20s. Republican Senator Tommy Tuberville of Alabama said those in his district wanted to know the answer to this question.
You pro-life or pro-choice?
I am supportive of the president's agenda. I have 100% pro-life voting record in Congress, and I will continue to support the America First agenda, which we know includes life.
Good answer.
Abortion is an issue that Chavez-DeRemer has been fluid on in recent years. Last October, she said this during a debate in Portland, quote, "I'm never pro-choice enough for the left. I'm never pro-life enough for the right. I'm where most Americans are. They have said they want access. I will not break that promise, and I will protect their access to abortion." So, while she claims her voting record in Congress is 100% pro-life, her statement before this past November election certainly leans towards some choice. Not that abortion is an issue for the Labor Secretary, but since it came up during her nomination hearing, it's worthwhile to have some context. As far as whether or not our local senators will vote yes or no on Chavez-DeRemer's confirmation as Labor Secretary, Senator Wyden says he'll vote no. Senator Merkley told the Oregon Capitol Chronicle that he will vote no. And Washington Senator Patty Murray says she has not yet decided. So it's not clear yet when the Senate will vote on Chavez-DeRemer's nomination, but we'll keep you posted.